Hello, my name is Michael, and in this short presentation, I'm going to take you on one of the most fascinating rides of your life. You're going to freak over what I have to share with you here. I'm going to expose a staggering invention from the 1900s that has cut ice in the birth of naval revolution, secretly powered the first modern submarines, a revolutionary discovery that helped thousands of others like yourself to significantly lower your power bills each and every month. The electric companies and government agencies squashed this cutting-edge device until today. In one of the biggest cover-ups in the contemporary history, these financial Pied Pipers are counting on your ignorance and fear to make you believe that there is no other option but to pay through your nose for their criminally high electricity costs, when all this time they should have requited you big time for the electricity you produce. So stick around until the end of the short presentation, and I will reveal how you, like the other 22,540 customers, with the aid of a very simple method, can save up to 70% or more on your power bill every month. Start living a better life with a lot more money in your pockets, while making the Big E pick up the tab for it. So don't let anyone interrupt you. Grab something to write with and watch this now while you still can. You may think I'm bragging. You may think you've tried it all or seen all. I thought the same until I discovered what it is all about. And I can guarantee that you've never seen anything like what I'm about to reveal to you today. Here's the story. 23rd May, 1878, New Jersey. A school teacher and Irish patriot named John P. Holland embarks on the most important voyage of his life. In fact, this was the birth of the naval revolution, because this brave man was about to attempt the first sail with a submersible ship in history on the waters of the Passaic River in New Jersey. No one would pin faith on that because at that time it seemed like another silly highbrow goal, but still thousands of people gathered to witness the event. Holland was confident that he could wing it, and he was sure he could rely on his invention. So there goes nothing. John P. Holland squeezes himself into a cramped space just 3 feet by 3 feet by 2 feet, and he cuts and runs. But Holland should have stayed in bed, because the boat almost instantly sinks to the river bottom and has to be pulled up to the surface. The press was unforgiving. One paper congratulates him on getting the boat immediately to the bottom, without even the assistance of a captain. The sinking worries Holland. He needs to keep his financial Irish backers happy. Not about to give up, he repairs a leak in his sub and launches again. This time the boat goes down and then comes up. The race for the perfect sub suddenly becomes the bee in Holland's bonnet. He keeps trying to make new and improved models. After a falling out with his Irish backers, he turns to his adoptive country for support. But the U.S. government tries to ride herd on his designs, and the frustrated Holland goes back to work for himself. After more than 20 years of financial struggle, public ridicule, and frustrating dead ends, comes Holland's breakthrough. The Holland 6. This vessel grabs the attention of the U.S. Navy, and on March 14, 1900, Admiral Dewey observes the Holland 6 trials on the Potomac River with young A. Lieutenant Harry Caldwell. This time all went as loose as a goose, and both the Lieutenant Caldwell and Admiral Dewey were impressed with the capability of the submarine. The brilliance of Holland's design was recognized and commissioned into the U.S. Navy in 1900 as the USS Holland. He became the first man to drive a submersible ship for 2 miles at 15-foot depth. After a few days upon docking the Holland 6 on what today is known under the name of Port Newark Elizabeth Marine, the first man to give him the glad hand was not the Admiral, not even his wife, not even the U.S. Senator William M. Stewart, who had waited for him personally. Holland ran to a man who silently watched over the entire operation and secretly made that success possible. Gone out of his skull, he jumped into his arms and said, "Thank you, Mr. Riker. I couldn't have done it without you." Andrew L. Riker was a scraphead inventor that Holland considered to be a square guy. And as you'll discover, he was the man with the smarts behind all of this. It was a huge success for the U.S. Navy and for John Holland. But the event had a dirty little secret from the beginning of the mission. Only 3 people from their technical team knew all the angles of the submarine. Newspapers, spectators, even the U.S. Navy didn't have to know all the answers about what was going on inside Holland's ship. Why Andrew Riker was the magic ingredient in this success? You see, at the first sight, everything looked normal with the sub's engine. But in a secret compartment, they put Riker's invention. You must keep in mind that the submarines of that time were not the billion-dollar masterpieces they are today. Here's how the Holland 6 submarine worked. The official U.S. Navy document stated that the Holland 6 used a hefty and noisy gasoline engine to sail on the surface, and then switched to battery power to stealthily go beneath the waves and attack undetected. But a submarine with a gasoline engine has an Achilles heel that imperils not only its greatest strength, stealth, but also its safety. Although the gasoline engine worked well on paper, the engine had flaws. Gasoline is highly flammable and unstable. Using this fuel in a confined environment, such as the submarine, put the crew under the gun. That's why everybody was screaming. Navigating a submarine is nothing but waiting inside a grenade ready to blow. Finding safer means of propulsion was needed if the submarine was ever to submerge for long periods of time. Holland encountered the usual difficulty in obtaining the right engine. He almost despaired of finding a solution for one. So here's how he got in luck. Chance took Holland to an electrical exhibition at Madison Square Garden. Thousands of basement inventors came there hoping someone would be interested in their device and buy it for $1 or $2. As he wandered through the exposition, trying to get his mind together, Holland picked up one particular model of a weird charging station designed for a country home. The charger powered a battery bank which powered a small house fan, and strangely somehow, there were no wires not at all connected to or from this device. "That is what I want for my boat," he shouted. He promptly asked the inventor of that marvelous charger if he would care to join his technical crew for building and developing the first modern submarine. The job was a gravy boat, and in a few days, Andrew Riker installed his marvelous invention on the Holland. But for the development of Andrew L. Riker, a unique charger that could draw enormous amounts of energy from the local environment, the submarine might never have risen from the bottom of the ocean. Just to clear things out, Holland 6 had a speed of 7 knots on the surface and 5 knots submerged. He could stay underwater for just a day before the batteries ran out, and that forced the submarine to surface, giving the advantages of concealment and run on top of the water so it could recharge its batteries for further submerged cruising. So do the math yourself, and you'll figure it out that those performances wouldn't be enough for the Navy to rely on this machine to win a war. Most people wouldn't care about these small details. They just wanted to see the thing sinking and coming up again, doing the job. And thanks to this ball-busting charger, John P. Holland managed to accomplish the first important step in the underwater naval history. The people were happy. The Navy was happy. It was classic. But who is the enigmatic man behind the unique charger that has changed the naval history? Who was Andrew Riker? Andrew L. Riker was born in 1868. He grew up in a comfortable home, belonged to a Boy Scout troop, and was passionate of building all kinds of ingenious toys. In his youth, he was a different breed of cat than any other kid of his age. When he was just 16 in 1884, Andrew L. Riker dropped out of school after the first year of college and started experimenting with electric motors and a battery that he built to his dad's Coventry bicycle. The work in his parents' basement resulted in a 2-passenger trike that had a 25-mile range using a series of lead sulfuric acid batteries. Like the bikes of that time, it had a tubular steel frame, wire wheels, and pneumatic tires. His father just stood there, pop-eyed to the genius of his son. It was no surprise that he would become a big-time inventor. But no one could have a hunch that he would invent the Energizer, a device that could help people get one step closer to finally being free and independent, no longer trapped on the energy payroll. In 1888, Andrew Riker founded the small Riker Electric Vehicle Company based in Elizabethport, New Jersey. But on the grounds of political influences and industrial monopolies that were growing bigger and bigger those days, Riker's company was absorbed by the Electric Vehicle Company after a few years later. He was disappointed and felt that he belonged among wires, wheels, and batteries. Always trying to invent very simple things that could help other people and give them a better life. Years passed and he remained the same, working all day long in his basement, living in his own mind and dreaming of changing the world. Most of the people called Andrew a work freak, a workaholic. But there were some other kinds of people who became interested in his work. Here's how it all happened. Andrew Riker was by chance in the right spot at the right time, presenting his newest invention at the Madison Square Garden Electrical Exposition. That was the day John P. Holland shouted, "That's what I want for my boat." He put all his efforts in adapting his device, originally created a small cabin, to work as an alternative power supply for the battery bank of the submarine. The moment of revelation struck Riker like a lightning when he was playing with a compass and a magnet while working on the deck of the submarine. He discovered that by passing the magnet across the compass, it would develop a movement that he realized could generate natural electricity. Here it is, but remember, it's strictly under the hat. He found that by using some coils placed strategically under a rotor and a few electrical circuits to drive it all, he could generate a constant current flow that could just do the job. Even though compared to today's technology, that didn't seem like much. For him, that was the eureka moment. He froze in front of his brilliant thought. He discovered how to tap into the electrical currents of the Earth's magnetic core. Let me clear things up. Imagine the Earth as a giant magnet that generates every second billions of volts. That energy cannot be seen or felt by us unless we have the right tools to tap into it. This type of energy is similar to the clean and renewable energy hydroelectric plants generate. Water from a lake powers generators and flows on down the river. The lake, though, is constantly replenished by springs, runoff, etc. Essentially, the sun is responsible for keeping this system perpetual. The sun may burn out, but the total energy mass remains constant within the cycling universal system. That was the discovery that would revolutionize the world. And based on this principle, he created and adapted this design to power Holland's submarine, to help him reach what was previously beyond any human's reach. After John P. Holland managed to bring into being the world's first modern submarine, he became a hero. Holland was granted a patent for his new submarine design on September 9, 1902. As Holland's waters were calming down and new innovations in the submarine industry were constantly developing, Andrew Riker decided to make his creation public, because he really wanted to help other people. Obviously, he didn't come clean with the fact that his charger was guilty for Holland's success, because he knew that the big energy fat cats and oil company monopolists pumped millions of dollars in the U.S. Navy's butt just to keep things under the hat. But in a strange sequence of events, details of Holland's success have leaked, and Riker was finally able to show his invention to the people. For the big electricity and oil companies was a bad day at the Black Rock, but they couldn't wrap the newspapers from providing entertaining news to a public hungry for sensational news. Revealing a small-scale model of what Riker hoped would be developed at a larger scale, and would help the average American generate extra electricity for his home. Shockingly, Riker suffered a tragic accident at a demonstration in Trenton. A short circuit caused a very large current flow, and he became paralyzed by a discharge of a battery from the apparatus he was working on for years. It's kind of weird that the master of the charger got electrocuted by his own masterpiece. This man is a role model. He remained paralyzed until he died at the age of 62. But he didn't by no means want to sell the designs of his Energizer, hoping that one day someone will put a use of his invention on a larger scale. Over the years, tons of scientists have looked into the discovery, but none can figure it out, not even today. Moreover, some say that it violates the principle of perpetual motion. People stayed in the dark for over 100 years, paying hundreds of dollars every month for the still unreliable and overpriced electricity that shouldn't be a luxury. If you are in the same situations, you probably haven't done anything about it. But now, all that will end. Right now, I'm going to reveal you something that will change your life around. After Andrew Riker died in 1930, it seemed that the opportunity to see the Energizer in action and to actually use it to generate electricity without depending on the electric company was all about lost. Until today. After years of research and painstaking investigation, I finally traced back the lost plans of the Energizer to a man who was secretly benefiting from them for over 25 years. With the condition of not divulging his identity, the man told me that he was the nurse who stood beside the bed of Andrew L. Riker in his final months. In return to his unconditional friendship, Mr. Riker gave him the briefcase with the plans for building the notorious Energizer just before he died. He was finally prepared to carry on Riker's dream, to help every American reduce the electricity bill by 70% or more, and turn the tide against the corporate fat cats once and for all. He was determined to share to the world the secret of how he managed to live a more peaceful, happier life for the past 25 years, knowing he is not owing anyone a red cent. Only with the Energizer. Well, you'd better believe I didn't waste any time sitting this guy down and picking his brain about everything he knew. And what he told me blew my mind. He told me how I can manufacture my own parts with the minimum skills for a fraction of the cost of my monthly electricity bill. He showed me where to get the materials I needed at the best prices, and walked me through the whole process of building my home Energizer step by step. I couldn't believe it that someone like me with so little experience was able to build my own home power system from start to finish. I'll bet you think I'm pulling your leg, right? Hey, I thought this sounded too good to be true too. Here's what convinced me otherwise. From the very first month I had my system up and running, I noticed a significant change in my electricity bill. Commonly, my electric bill is around $130 to $150, but this time I was looking at a two-figure number. I couldn't believe it. It was just $20 and a few cents. It blew my mind. My homemade Energizer just saved me over $100. At that time, this was an awesome deal. And it kept getting better. Once I turned up the system, the next bill was even better. It was next to nothing. I finally managed to outfox the Big E company, and now more than ever I am able to spit in the face of those greedy energy monopolists that make the cards these days. Not long ago, my friends and neighbors started asking me to show them how I did it. They wanted to know how to take this first step to a more rewarding life while breaking free from the ropes and chains of the electricity monopolists. And that was the moment it got through my head. This wasn't just about me and a few others. I knew there were thousands of Americans out there who were just as angry as I was about rising electricity and heating costs. I am convinced that there are many others like me who are willing to be in the forefront rather than waiting until the future is upon us, and we all know where this economy is going. These are the people who have another powerful force shaping their attitudes as never before, and that's anger, righteous anger with all those government agencies who are both lying to us and dreadfully mismanaging our wealth. These are those who are fearless and ready to take the matter in their hands and stand up for what they love the most, their homes and families. It just didn't feel right to keep this information for myself. So I went to see that man again, and as I was going to lean on him to reveal all his knowledge, all his underground knowledge about building and installing the Energizer system, we spent months writing a detailed manual, not to mention testing everything to make sure anyone could use it. And after a truckload of work, the Ultimate Energizer Guide was born. The Ultimate Energizer Guide is a simple, easy-to-follow, step-by-step guide. In fact, it is dumb simple, but only if you know how to do it properly, that empowers you to significantly lower your power bills each and every month, and brings you one step closer to the independence and freedom you desire and deserve. And in the next few months, you're going to see just how easy it is to build it yourself. But here's the even better news. I'll bet you are worried that you don't have the technical skills for this, but we worked hard on these guides and put them through a complete makeover so that anyone, no matter what age or skill, can have their own money-saving device properly installed in less than 4 hours and begin reducing the electricity bill by 68% or more starting today. Just imagine having the ultimate Energizer in your home. No more paying through the nose on electricity just to make the fat cats even fatter. Turn on the AC as often as you want without having to constantly hear that nagging voice inside your head telling you that you need to turn it off because you'll end up paying a fortune. You might want to take notes because this will be short and intense. But don't take my word for it. Here's live footage of the device in action. Here's why you need to try the Ultimate Energizer Guide today, and why it's at least 10 times better than everything you've tried or studied before. You'll get important savings of 50%, 67%, or even more when you discover the simple scaling secret without spending $20,000 to $30,000 or more on expensive solar panels. You'll be able to take this little device anywhere with you. It's so small that it fits in your trunk for when you go camping. You'll be able to power up any kind of household appliances, from lamps and toasters to electricity hogs like refrigerators and AC units. You can even power up a remote cabin in the wilderness and stop worrying about having to pay the electric company $50,000 or more to hook you to the grid. What's more, because the Ultimate Energizer is very light and portable, it makes for one of the best emergency generators you could ever hope for. And even if the shit hits the fan, you'll still be able to have enough electricity for cooking and preserving your food, while others will beg for a leaf of rotten bread. Unlike solar panels, it won't get blown off the roof by strong winds and hurricanes. And unlike conventional portable generators, there are no fumes, and you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on fuel. In fact, there's very little to spend at all. Except from a simple maintenance check every few months, the device is basically set and forget. And because this ingenious design makes it so silent, you won't even hear it running. That's because you can install it in your basement or in your backyard and not worry about weather conditions for 1 second. It's no wonder people are stunned and sobbing with joy. In the short time we've made this available to everyone's reach, customers are already getting breathtaking results. It was a snap to put together, took 1 hour, and I stopped to get the mail in the middle. Bob Jones, Redondo Beach, California. I saved over $100 in the first week alone. My wife is happy, and I managed to get my son the new Nerf toy he was crying for. Sherman Farquhar, New Orleans, Louisiana. And thousands others who are paying now considerably less than what they used to, and saving thousands of dollars every year on electricity thanks to the Ultimate Energizer Guide. It's a smooth-sailing way to help cut the cord and free yourself from the big electricity companies. Here's why in today's uncertain political and economic climate, the benefits of the Ultimate Energizer system are becoming a must. Just combine the geopolitical instability of the terrorist-prone Middle East with booming energy demand, especially from China, and you have a recipe for a never-ending energy crisis. As a result, governments and corporations are searching for viable alternative energy sources. But while solar power and ethanol fuel have seen advances, neither will meet current global energy demand. Consider these mind-boggling facts about other alternative energy sources. Oil and gas are non-renewable resources and subject to supply interruptions. Coal is dirty, labor-intensive, and dangerous to workers. Wind power has to be heavily subsidized. Fuel cells are still searching for a breakthrough technology. Electrical power dams have reached the point of diminishing returns and are subject to severe environmental restrictions. The Ultimate Energizer, on the other hand, is extremely adaptable and will completely change the way you look at energy. It costs less than $208 to build, and you can find all the materials and spare parts at your local electronics shop. It's completely weatherproof, and it really makes no difference if it's raining or if it's too hot outside. And because you can use it during the night, you don't need expensive batteries to store your excess electricity. It's incredibly easy to build. Sure, the technology may have been cutting edge in the 30s, but these days it's definitely not rocket science. You can get materials that used to cost thousands of dollars for a few bucks. And with our step-by-step instructions, building your own device is as easy as assembling an IKEA chair. There are no emissions, no fumes, no radiations. In fact, it's probably just as green as solar or wind power systems. And best of all, it is extremely adaptable, and it will change your life for the better, so you can begin slashing your bill by 30%, 60% or more starting today. Here's how to get the Ultimate Energizer Guide today. You need to move fast on this one, because we simply don't know for how long this website is going to stay up. The first time people heard about the Ultimate Energizer, things turned out really bad for the inventor, and we fear it might happen once again. But still, we want to get this into as many hands as possible. The incredible technology has already changed the face of the modern world, and it can do it one more time. People need to hear about this amazing device so they can break free from big energy and stop paying for electricity that should be available to everyone. It's about living well, and that is the best revenge. So it would make a lot of sense to charge a small fortune for the Ultimate Energizer Guide. Yet, I won't do that. In fact, the only reason we're charging a fee for these amazing documents is only to cover our research and development costs. So here's the deal. You'll get immediate access to all the guides, blueprints, do-it-yourself instructions, and list of parts, tools, and suppliers. You'll receive a professionally designed manual that will show you every step in the process of building your own super efficient Energizer for a fraction of the cost of 1 month's utility bill, including how to choose the right materials at the best price. We've done all the work for you. This allows you to go directly to the store with the best prices and buy the materials you need for your Energizer without the stress of searching them for weeks. Hint, the list of items costs less than $208 and will last for years. How to manufacture your own parts and pieces with the minimum effort, a full list of tools, and how to use them properly, because there are a ton of experts out there telling people how to do it wrong. Your Ultimate Energizer will take shape before your eyes and will be fully functional in a glimpse. How to assemble your Energizer in less than 4 hours, backed up by full-color pictures and diagrams we designed for easy understanding, because it can bankrupt you to attempt to get it working by trial and error. We've already made all the mistakes, and we've discovered how to be successful. We can shortcut your building time by half. How to build a fully transportable device. The first thing I did was buy a remote beach house. I love to suck up the cool, invigorating salt air, and only the rich get to do that. And because you can take your Energizer wherever you need, you can use this free energy even in high-altitude locations. You'll save hundreds of dollars each month and thousands each year, and there will be no reason to go solar and fork out at least $20,000 on a solar panel system that pays for itself in 8 long years. And that's not all. You'll get the Ultimate Energizer Guide in electronic format, so you can have instant access and go and start your project right away. We walk you through every step along with incredible visual instruction and detailed information about all the components you need. It's like being in the same room with an expert instructor right at your side, helping you get this built in the fastest and easiest way possible. How much is it worth to you to literally save 68% or more on electricity bills for good? Listen, I'm not going to ask you to invest $1,000 for this secret, even though I know it's worth at least that. The Ultimate Energizer Guide won't cost you $500, not even $250, though it would be worth every penny at this price. I am aware of these tough times you and I are going through right now, and it didn't seem right, even though the Ultimate Energizer will save you lots of money in the long run. I thought $97 would be a fair price for the whole package. It's definitely worth a lot more, but that is only to cover our research and design expenses. But we won't charge you that either. I'm going to set the price of the Ultimate Energizer Guide at just $69. That's probably less than you are paying every month for electricity, and you can recover that investment in under a month. Plus, you'll get lifetime free updates to this system and other energy-related discoveries I'm working on at this point. And really, the price doesn't even matter. That's because you're covered by no questions asked money-back guarantee for 60 full days. Even so, because you're getting here early, if you act right now, I'll let you have the Ultimate Energizer Guide, including the manual, the schematics, the parts list, tools, and supplies, for a single payment of just $49.97. It's easy. Just click the big, shiny, inviting Buy Now button that just appeared below, and you'll be taken to our secure order page. It's simple. Get the blueprints today and give them your own personal test run. See how easy it is to make your own electricity with the Ultimate Energizer. Watch as your power meter slows down the moment you plug your generator in, and see what it's like to slash your electric bill by 50%, 75% or more in less than 2 short months. You have 60 days to decide whether this was a good investment or not. And if you're less than thrilled with how much you're saving on electricity, just write us a short email at the address you'll find in the members area. We'll give you an immediate refund, even if it's the 23rd hour of the 59th day. The Ultimate Energizer will help you save hundreds of dollars each month. You won't need expensive generators, and it's so portable, you can even take it with you on your trips. Instead of paying thousands of dollars on expensive generators, you can pocket the savings and spend it on more important things. And just imagine how your life will be just 2 months after making the Ultimate Energizer. Picture this. You're coming home from work and you notice there's a fresh envelope in the mail. It's a bill from the electric company. But as you rip it open, you notice that something's different. This time, the amount is in negative. Because you found a way to reduce it by 68% or more overnight every month for the rest of your life, just from keeping the Ultimate Energizer on. And month after month, you get the same relaxed feeling that comes with not owing anyone a red cent. You're finally free and independent, no longer trapped inside a legal monopoly that's holding you at gunpoint. The Ultimate Energizer Guide is about something bigger and more important than money. It's about regaining your freedom and making a stand. Right now, you're at a crossroads that's going to affect not just your bank account, but your happiness, your security, and safety of your family for years to come. And the way I see it, these paths lie ahead of you. The first thing is to do like most people. Take no action, do nothing, and hope that nothing bad will happen. Let this video end, leave this site behind, and keep feeling like you're going to have a heart attack every time you open up your electric bill. Keep acting like a power Nazi around the house, constantly worrying about every last watt of power. Keep sweating your ways through the summers and freezing your way through the winters, all because you want to save a few bucks. Keep contributing to the problem, gobbling up our natural resources and keeping us addicted to foreign sources of power. Of course, there's the second path, and that is to take what you've learned today and try to figure out your own system for creating real power for your home. Honestly, you can try this, but would you rather reinvent the wheel every time you leave the house, or would you rather just climb into your car and get where you're going? It took our team a lot of time, effort, energy, and work to put together the Ultimate Energizer, to test it, and to make sure that even non-technical folks like my brother could follow it and use it. And it's way too easy to mess this up and spend a lot of money while you're experimenting. Just buy the wrong kind of panel or forget a particular part, and you'll end up with a really fancy lawn ornament that does not generate a single watt. And if you really want to be self-sufficient and not at the mercy of big electric companies, then you should seriously consider path number 3. Let me take all the risk for you. Do what over 22,540 folks have already done. Grab your copy of the Ultimate Energizer Blueprints. See how fun it is to start generating power for you and your family in shockingly little time. And with our generous 60-day guarantee, there's really no way you can lose. Just click the orange Buy Now button that you see below. You'll be brought right to our secure order page and we'll be able to grab your copy of the Ultimate Energizer, all the bonuses at a whopping discount right away. So you need to act fast if you don't want to miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. Last time this opportunity was made public, we gave away all 500 copies in under 24 hours. So people, for your own sake, don't hesitate. Action always wins. The bottom line is you need to get in fast, while you can, to get your hands on this incredible technology. Still here? There are some questions that I keep receiving from people, and I'll try to answer a few here. Number 1, if the Ultimate Energizer Guide works so well, why aren't more people using it? There are more than 22,540 happy families already using the Ultimate Energizer, but every serious prepper that uses it won't brag about it. For some, it's the fear factor. Most people think this is too complex to build. The fact is, the Ultimate Energizer is easy when you have the proper blueprint. Number 2, how hard will this be to make? This is so simple and easy to build, you'll kick yourself for not taking up the Ultimate Energizer earlier. The whole thing takes 4 hours, doesn't require strength and electric school. That's all, and really there's no excuse for not giving it a try. In fact, if you don't want to lift a finger, you can still do this. Just pay someone $50 to read the blueprints and to put together the Ultimate Energizer for you. It's more fun than Legos, and many of our clients are saying that their children love it. Number 3, how long will this take? It will take you a little over 60 minutes to read the blueprints, and that's it. Building the Ultimate Energizer takes under 4 hours if you're slow, a lot less if someone's helping you. Number 4, how much do the parts cost? To build a small scale of the Ultimate Energizer, you'll need about $200 worth of parts that you can get from any electronics store. If you want to scale it up and get more electricity, you'll need more expensive parts, but you'll find that you can easily power up an entire home with under $810 in total costs. How safe is your platform? ClickBank is one of the biggest merchants on the internet. Your personal data will be completely safe during the process, and it only takes 2 minutes to complete your personal payment details and to reach our members area page, where you can download this product. Go get 'em. Click the Buy Now button below, and you will be taken to our secure servers.